So I wait 3 weeks with a loaner car, and he calls me up, and he says, Mr. Combs, I don't quite know how to say this, but we sent an investigative engineer, the best we got, and you're not turning off the car. I said, this is verbatim what I said, start your investigation over and call me when you've got a better answer. And I hung up the phone. Well, they actually did it. They sent a second engineer from Nashville who checked out my car, and then they called me back and they said, Mr. Combs, I promise you, the car carries a sophisticated computer. We've looked at it every way possible. It has an exact record. You're not turning off the car. So we've ended our investigation. We have replaced the battery in your car again. No problem whatsoever. You're welcome to go pick up your car and return the loaner. So I'm completely defeated. I guess I'm the problem. So I go into Infiniti with my son, Will, and we drop off the loaner, and I feel embarrassed. And you know, the only person in Infiniti that has talked to me through this whole thing is actually Adam in service. And he's given up on me too. And so he gives me the paperwork to accept my car and end the investigation, you know, the mechanic paperwork. He says, just sign here. And I said, Adam, I just want to ask you in advance. Tell me, does that paperwork say that I'm not turning off the car? And he said, it does. I said, I'll never sign it, because my wife will never let me live it down. I said, so he goes, he looks at me and tell I'm serious. So he goes, okay, all right. All right, you don't have to sign it. I'll go get your car. So he goes to get my car. And Will, my son's like, it was a good try, Dad, but I still love you as a dad. I'm like, thank you, Will. Half an hour later, Adam comes out of service, but he's looking at his shoes when he walks up to me. Mr. Combs, we're going to put you back in the loaner because your car wouldn't start. I said, Adam, did I train you on how to turn it off? And the very next day, the lawyer in Nashville called me and said, we are going to buy back your car, Mr. Combs, because it's a lemon. I love Infiniti. I will be an Infiniti driver till the rest of my life. Lemons happen, right? And really what I was hoping is that Infiniti would be this brand that would fix the problem, you know, and wow me. And so, yeah, problems happen. That's no problem. So I go in to get my check for the thing, and I'm really looking forward to speaking to the manager. And I walk into the service desk, and the manager isn't waiting for me. And Adam in service just actually points to this little room I hadn't noticed before. Picture an empty room, almost like a broom closet with a bare light bulb. It's really close to that, honestly. And I walk in there, and there's a man waiting for me who doesn't work for Infiniti. He doesn't know anything about me. He doesn't care anything about me. He says, do you have a driver's license, a separate piece of identification? Sign this paper. Here's your check. And he gives me my check. We're done. That's how the purchase of the buyback, the giving of cash happens. He doesn't care about my story. He doesn't know my story. I got my money. So then I walk out of that little room, and I really want the manager to be there. I want him to be there and say sorry and talk to me about it and offer me something really special because I'm going to drive an Infiniti off the lot. But he's not there. So I go look for him. And I find him in his office. And I go into his office. And I sit down with him. And when I walk out of there, I buy a new car. My new BMW. Man, all that loyalty down the drain. Why?
Hi, this is Patrick. Subscribe already, all right? Click that subscribe button.